Oh
How are you?
my, how are
It's so nice to
you?
see you.
So
I'm
good to
great, and
see
you?
you. Okay.
So
It's,
you're far away from me. You're far, far
am
away.
I far?
Yeah, you are far away.
Okay. Should I
You,
come closer?
no, I mean Earthwise.
Oh, I
You.
know. I know.
It's
I'm
cool.
so happy to finally meet you. We've
Mm,
been connected
very
on
nice to meet you
IG
too.
for so long,
Yeah,
and I'm just so inspired by all of your work. You're so talented,
oh, thank you so
and you're
much.
such a
Thank you so
love.
much.
I wish we lived closer so that we could hang.
Yeah, but I like to live in Paris. I
Okay,
do
well,
really
I'll
do
come visit
love
you
it, Paris.
because that's
Yes,
the better, the
anytime,
more,
anytime.
definitely the better of the two. Um, so everyone, thank you so much for joining. This is my sweet friend and fellow interior designer, Felix Millory. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah, yeah. That's I like the English way. It's nice, Millory. It's Millory, but it's very French.
um,
So really nice to meet you
and
guys.
he is an architect and interior designer in Paris, France.
Yes,
The place that we all wish that we lived in.
it's kind of dreamy to live in
Oh my
Paris. It's very, very nice,
I
but
love Paris so
it's
much. It's amazing.
it's beautiful.
So, have you always
It's
lived there?
beautiful. Yes, kinda. I've been raised in Paris, so I'm belonging here. I love living here. It's beautiful. It's very inspiring, actually. It's interior design and architecture and fashion and everything is very related to that.
Mhm.
So it's kind of full package. So it's very nice. It's very nice.
It's very romantic. It's almost like
It's very.
melodramatic. You know, you get
It
kind
is.
of this like
But this is very French,
it
melodrama. It's
is.
very, very
Yeah,
French. So it is.
I love it so much. So, can you tell us a little bit of your background story, kind of where
Sure.
you came from? Did you come from a creative background, an entrepreneurial background, and just kind of walk us through the steps of your history and what brought you here today to open up your beautiful firm?
So I'm 36. I've been raised by two adorable parents. They were doctors, the both of them, but I think they detected the very creative side of me very young, and so they helped me, learning drawings and learning about art, and then so I've been raised literally with that. So, and I had this mania, that I wanted to know how things works and how they were constructed, and I always, constructed a lot of arts when I was younger, and drawing a lot of everything, and also clothes. I was very obsessed by clothing and how the way it was drawn, and how you construct things, and then you can sew and assemble things. I was obsessed by that. And then I think I had also this very mathematic mind. So I have like the two, brains, a very aesthetic one and a very technical one. And so I started uni by studying math. And then after, I just got very bored about that. And I just went into architecture, like literally architecture for 6 years. And it was, I think it was like a heaven for me. It was the best studies ever. Like being all the time in a school that helps you think about and create and construct, and always thinking and theoretical and a lot of knowledge. I really enjoy, studying about architecture, studying about art, studying about design, and so 6 years of studies about architecture. And then at the same time, I designed some jewelry for a brand, and I started to work in a company, an architecture firm company. And so after I graduated, I went working there for 2 years, and then I opened my company. But it was like I've been always very lucky about everything, about people I met at the right time, and like the occasions. I raised to the occasions, and 2 years after my graduation, I signed Vanessa Paradis, which is she's a French actress, and I work for her interior design at the same time of my regular job in an architecture office. And then I had to choose one, and I chose to start my company. But it was like a very, very small, just one client. And then after it became two clients. And then all the time I was very unsure about whether to keep on doing it or not. And I was very stressed about everything. And because I was like 25 at the time, so it was very, very too soon. But anyway, I had to jump in the ocean and start to knowing how to swim by my own. And so from this little one person, one client company, yeah, now we're here like 9 years afterwards, 10 years afterwards. And so I started for the first 5 years, looking for what I wanted to do and understand what I could do and what I like to do, because it's very different things. You study something, and then you go into the market, and then you start working, and then you realize that you're comfortable with stuff, but you're uncomfortable with others. And I realized that the more I worked on architecture, I liked interior design very much. And I think it was something that I felt very connected to, but also I feel very frustrated with, because I was only doing, architecture mind, projects. So I had to, 5 years ago, I think I had this revelation. I met someone, and then and she told me, like, you should buy a sofa, you should buy that, and then it makes the story more complete. And then 5 years ago, I decided I wanted to dive into the interior design through decoration, and to have like a finished product. And I think it was just the ground shaking, and it was a revelation to me, because it was like giving a full story from A to Z, and helping also clients, and controlling the storyline of the apartment. So that's how I became who I am, and understand who I was, and trying to know more about me and my aesthetic, because at the beginning you really don't know what you're doing. It's just like you're just going somewhere, and then just and the only thing that I kept was, the feeling, something physical that you feel, like this energy or this pleasure that you have when you have like something. And I think this was my guide through the 9, 10 years, and the 5 years. I was looking for me, and for my style, and for my, the storyline that we could do, and how we can approach project. And so from little drawing dresses in my room, and then now I think it's just like it's a U-turn. It's enormous, and I'm really, really happy about where I am now, because I feel like it's everything I've been made for me to be there. So it's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. So
Yeah,
it's where I am now.
I love that. I also just kind of fell into interior design.
Yeah.
I went to school for fashion, so we both have that love for fashion.
Oh,
And then I went back for interior design because there were no internships in fashion industry, and
yeah.
all along I'd been assisting with interior projects on the side with my friends, and
Mm,
helping out doing other things. And so there was an internship at a high-end interior design firm, and that's what I took. And then after the internship, I was offered a job. I declined it, but I went back to school. And so everything just kind of happens organically in your life, and the
mm.
universe kind of shows you where you're supposed to be. It's amazing, isn't it?
I really like that.
Yes.
I always say that for me, architecture was the plan B. My plan A was doing, fashion design, and I totally understand now that it was my plan A. I really love what I do. I have this ecstatic passion. I love everything I do, and I love working on project and choosing and managing all the constraint and all that. And I feel like I'm there. And I couldn't be anywhere else, honestly. I don't know what I don't know what I could do else. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
But
And I also love that that you just kind of jumped, and
mm,
you were for sure, you had this, he Felix has had many high profile clients. We'll get into that.
mm,
But to be hired by Vanessa Paradis, how did that connection take
I don't
place?
know.
And
I was friend with her sister,
ah
actually, Alison, and I helped Alison through, some difficulties she had, and she introduced me to the Vanessa manager, personal manager. So this is how we managed to
and
do
it
that.
was just you? Oh
Yeah,
my goodness, that's
only me,
amazing.
alone.
Talk about things just falling in your lap and into place. What
And
what
yeah,
an
and it
incredible
was
first
literally
project.
like you have to do
What?
that. It was literally you have to do it, and then let's panic and then let's do it. It was literally just that. And I think it's some like grown up wise word. It's that at one point, if you fear of, if you project too much on something, and then you create fear. And then if you believe in your fear, you won't. It's like you couldn't move anymore, or you cannot go further. So I think I'm very anxious, but I have this very crazy mind sometimes, like let's do it, we'll manage, we're gonna do it, we're gonna succeed. And I think it's some little wise word is that you need to go for it. There's nothing else wrong that could happen, actually.
I
It's
truly believe that if it's meant to be, it will be. And if it's pulling
mm,
at your heart, just like you said, whenever you feel something so strongly, just do it, just jump. And I did the
mm,
same. I jumped. I had no idea. I started working, I was a lead designer for a firm for 3 years, and it had just got to the point where it was time for me to part ways,
mm,
and I jumped. I didn't have social media. I didn't have a website. I didn't have any clients well, I had a couple that I was working on the back end, but I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. But everything has just worked out, and I
it
love your
does.
story. That's so awesome.
But we have a very similar
Very
one. It's
similar,
exciting.
very similar. I
It's
connected with you
exciting.
immediately as soon as we started calling. I was like, yes, I love him. But okay, so can you tell us about some about like maybe some challenges, the hardest challenges that you faced
It's an everyday
in your
challenge.
journey, and how you overcame it.
I think the first challenge was to deal with stress. I think it's a big part that you really underestimate at school, on social media, on a daily life, because it's very, you know, a balance between your expectation, the fear of losing, the fear of being left alone, and the fear of doing a wrong thing. So I think at first I had this very anxious and very stressful way of managing my time and my relationship to people, because I was very anxious. I really wanted to do good, and I really wanted to do perfect. So perfection requires a lot of adjustment and a lot of knowledge of yourself, and a lot of knowledge of, technical issues and stuff. So first is that it's very difficult. It looks very easy to give advices on color paint or textile, on, you know, a lot of um, strengths, a lot of wellness in your mind, of being centered. And this is only arriving with time and experience. So this was my first challenge, the
And
stress. And I still sometimes having a lot of trouble with that.
so
So
how have you learned to deal with it?
I think I have the best husband ever. Like literally, I think it's the best gift I ever had from life, because he helped me understand that sometimes you feel narrowed, by your stress, and you are just you feel like you're not going to succeed and you're going to be eating alive by it. And it's just opening a window so the light's coming, and then you understand that, oh no, it's just my mind that is sometimes making things worse than it is. So I have the very strong relationship with him, and then I understood that there is no mountain that you can climb and you can go through, but only with time, because and experiences. The more, I think you went through the same. When the more projects you do, the more issues you manage, the more trust you have in yourself and your capabilities, and you know that you're invincible. You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever comes, and whatever problems you have to manage. You know that if you believe in yourself, because you do believe in yourself, the facts are here. You succeeded many times, so why not now? So this is very personal, but I think our job is to also understand yourself very well and make yourself better. So you need to work a lot of yourself on that. So this is very personal issue, but I think we need to bring that up, because Instagram or social media make things very, very, smooth and very colorful and very easy. When you look at Instagram, you don't see
Mm-hmm.
much problems. I'm not saying problems, but everything is
Yeah,
problem. Our job is to create problem and to create solutions. So,
exactly.
and when you understand that, I think you feel a little bit relieved, because your part is to manage problem in a good way, with the artistic and with talent, but it's problems. So that's the main thing I had to overcome. And the second main is to manage people, because you train as a human being for thinking about your own creative ideas and developing yourself, and but how how do you manage people in stress timing, and in managing your own taste to, and learning your own taste to someone, and your own way of managing, the teams and stuff like this is a new challenge for us now, as we're getting, we're growing a lot. It's to have people that think like you, that have the same taste as you, and have the same knowledge as you, which is very central for us now. I don't know how you manage yourself with teams and people you work with, but it's very difficult
It's very
to me.
difficult, and also people, client and designer relationships, as well,
Mm.
managing those when issues arrive, because we are Instagram, you are 100% correct, only shows the highlight reel, and the behind the scenes. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes for a
Mm.
project. We literally, what we do, we problem solve all day long. That's our number one job. because
I think so.
because it's not if a problem will arise, it's when the problem will arise,
I
and
like
how
that. Yeah.
quickly we can recover. Because
Mm.
it's inevitable. There's
Mm.
just so many moving parts to a job, and every single part has its own personality. So managing those personalities is
Mm.
is a is a task. And I'll tell you, I that's a big, um that's something that I am learning more of how to handle now as well. Thankfully, a
Mm.
lot of my contractors, and we've been working together for so long that we kind of understand each other. But there are always new contractors that are coming in, and then my team
Mm,
is so small. It's just three of us, so we're also uh, tight knit and close. But I need to expand now, and that's what I'm
mm.
looking to do. And so it is very difficult to find people that you mesh with, and but whenever you do, you've got to hold on to them really tight.
You match with, but also that has the same
Aesthetic
um,
and well,
interested. No, that's
vision.
yeah, vision and also investment,
Yes,
And I'm so blessed because I have a very strong team of very courageous, mostly girls, but courageous people that have, very hard interest on what we do daily. They don't, underestimate, or they don't, just they're very fully committed, and I'm really really happy about that. And it's very difficult when times come to expand because you need to be very careful and precious about how they're going to connect with the new one,
yes.
and how you keep this very strong team aspect. So it's very difficult,
So
very
how
difficult,
large is
but
your
it's
team?
cool. We are seven
Oh
now.
wow!
So yeah.
Congratulations, that's amazing.
And then we need to be more because we're signing big projects now. So it goes very fast. Everything goes really fast. I remember when I was alone working in my room, and now we've been in the new office since a year, and I think we have to move now. So it's crazy. It's such a very adventurous story. And so I have architects, I have designers, and I have interior designers. So it's very exciting.
That is so
Very, very exciting.
exciting. I am so excited for
Yeah.
you. I can't wait to see you blossom and continue to grow into the amazing designer that you already are. But I can only imagine you've been open for 5 years, correct? You opened your
I've been open for nine, but I think I started to do the job 5 years
okay,
ago. Because 5 years ago, we started to sign interior design and decoration contracts.
okay. Before
First, it
it
was
was just
only
architecture.
yes, it was only
Okay.
architecture. I was like, don't no, not knowing really what I liked or what I really wanted to do, and now we're just very high-end interior designers.
Hi.
So now, if you ask me, I feel more interior designer than architect, because I think architecture now is only a structural tool for interior design, for feeling the emotion. So
I 100% agree. You can
yeah,
hire the best architect, but if the furnishings and the finishes and don't
yeah,
highlight that architecture, it's such a waste. So that
yeah.
feeling that makes a home is definitely the
Mm.
design for sure.
I have an interview yesterday for a magazine, and I told them that what I like to do is high-end apartment that you like to be in socks and maybe just in underwears. I like to think people working without shoes and be lazy on their sofa, but in very expensive sofa. We love very
Exactly.
expensive sofa, but I love comfy, cozy, and high end. So and I think it's something that now needs to be fully, shown, that you can do high end, you can do very exquisite material works, but with feelings, with touching, and not only just uh, shiny gold things. I like to have the craftsmanship in it,
Mm.
to so people understand the work, the hands, the human, scale of everything. And this is really really something I'm relate to that now.
Yes, and it can be high end, it can be beautiful. I truly believe that these are the pieces that are timeless and that will last forever. So I do think the investment is worth it. Um, but
Sure.
at the same time, practical, and you're able to live in it and be comfortable. The two can coexist, And yes, I completely agree. You should imagine yourself living in it, in this, it just as comfortable as one can get, doing all of the things that you would do on a normal daily basis.
But it's what you said, you imagine
Mhm.
yourself, and I think I'm always very projecting myself to understand if it's good or wrong, you know, because you feel like when you're going in a hotel and then you go in the bathroom and nothing is practical and there's something that is very uncomfortable, you can feel it. So I think it's something that our interior designers needs to, you know, had more in mind. It's to project themselves physically in the space they're imagining so they can understand if it's a right space or a wrong space, because you can feel the good thing. You have this sensorial effect that you can feel it's your solution is a good one or it's a bad one. And I think people should more project themselves in that,
I agree.
not only into the like I it has to look like that, but it has to feel like that.
And
So
flow,
it's the best one.
flow
Yeah,
naturally.
sure.
Yes, I completely agree. I love how you put that. Um,
With
so
I wish I'm trying to speak good English.
oh my gosh, it's perfect. You're doing a wonderful job.
It's the end of day for me, so
You're doing a
but
beautiful job. It's perfect. Your English is
thank
perfect.
you.
So, some of the high profile clients are Vanessa Paradis, Armani,
Yeah,
Jason Briggs, Hardware Club, Harrods.
yeah.
So out of these, all of these amazing high profile clients that you've had, which was the most meaningful and why? And which was the most challenging and why?
Oh, meaningful. I think with the time, I have more, you know, meaningful experience with a little bit less known people. I think working with high names, it's very difficult because it gets with a very strong persona, and a lot of, you know, when working with Vanessa Paradis was very, very difficult in many aspects. I remember once we went to a showroom and then we end up in a magazine and then they thought I was a boyfriend, and it was very stressful. Once we had to run into a car and then just drive because there were some paparazzi, and it was something that I was very happy with at the time because it was very fashionable to do that. But at the end, I don't believe we did such a good job because the relationship was um, a bit broken. It was very difficult to connect, you know, like intimately with the clients to understand the needs. And it was my first project. So but I think I really, really enjoy working with L'Éclaireur. It's a shop in
Mm.
Paris, and they opened up a shop in Thailand. So it was an amazing experience to work there and to go there and then to work with constructors there. It was a really, really nice
In
experience.
Thailand?
In Thailand,
Oh
in
my
Phuket,
goodness.
yes. It was nice. It was
Was
very nice
it?
to do that.
So did they
Yeah, it was
already
very nice.
have their contractors in place, or did you hire
Yes,
them?
yes,
Oh,
yes, yes,
perfect.
yeah. No, no, no. It was like the perfect
Oh,
combination. I just came, give the whole space a lifting, and then we had people working for us, and it was very, very comfortable and very nice to do that. And then the most challenging was maybe Harrods, because working with Harrods was like um, going into another world, you know. Even writing emails to Harrods was, I understood, I thought I was speaking good English, but when I stopped working with them, it was, I needed to understand more how to, you know, pronounce and also how to make things more English, you know, like, would you like, you know, it was very difficult, like, to work with them. And also, we had to work by night when we did the installation. So it was exhausting, you know, it was very difficult. It was the most challenging experience ever.
what did you do
Yeah.
for them?
And I worked for a hardware club, which it was, I did a corner there for a very high tech design company. And so we did this. it was cubes everywhere. It was very technical to do, so we had to work with carpentry company in London, and everything in English, everything. So I had to travel a lot. I was going there like twice a week, and you know how exhausting that can be. And then for the installation, it was by night, and so it was a good experience, very stressful, and working in English but now it makes my English way better. But at the time, it was so
That's
scary.
what I was
But
going to
anyway,
say.
that's happened.
Is that the did you learn the most from that project because it was the most challenging? Did you grow? Did you
I
grow the
think
most?
I think every project is a chance. Honestly, every project is has its own
Yeah,
complexity, has its own
it's true.
client, has its own, little notes that you don't understand at the beginning of your career. But every project is a chance to understand a little bit more about yourself, a little bit more about your company, a little bit about your process. You make better every time, every project you make, you adjust things to make it better. I'm very like that. I'm very analytic. I always think about how we can make it better, how we can, present more. And I'm a bit too much sometimes, but so every project is a chance to, you know, make your work better, but also look for other fabrics, other materials, other stones, and also other design, because at one point you have to keep your
Evolving.
you have to evolve, but you need to be very careful not changing yourself. So
Right.
it's
Yeah.
very tricky. It's very tricky. But at the end, it's always. I also relate a lot with my employees, because they're also very strong into proposing stuff and challenging me. And then I think now we gain a lot of visibility also thanks to them, because at one point when you're alone and always the one who proposing, you repeat yourself, I think. And from thanks to them, I don't think we repeat ourselves. We just have a very strong DNA now, but we try every time to change a little bit the storyline, and then to understand more about the client and the spaces and stuff like that. But it's very difficult, right?
No, I agree with you. You should still, um, yes, you should still have your aesthetic, the foundation of your aesthetic, however, evolve so that you are staying with the times and on top of everything, because everything is always evolving,
Mm,
not just you,
yeah.
and I also love your point of, with every project you are self-reflective, and then improve based upon that. And I 100% agree. I feel like that, or me anyway, I think that any kind of self-improvement, I'm always trying to do that. I am always working on
Mm,
what ways can I create a better system, create a better internal system, and that's the most
yeah.
important, because that's how you handle everything. That's how you deal with all of the complexities that come along.
And you also make it better.
Mhm.
I think, you cannot dance a tango without trying it, and without making it
Yeah.
better, and without looking in the mirror, and then, adjusting your movement and all that. And I think for us, it's exactly that. You have strong ideas that you connect to things that you saw on Instagram, on Pinterest, on magazine, and then you can invent also. But you won't succeed in this industry if you don't look at yourself with honesty, but also with a lot of critics. But sometimes it may be very difficult, because you can drown yourself with that. But I think to my opinion, and I think it's my brain is wired like that. It's just I always trying to make things works better. so I understand how we did it, where it didn't work well, and how we make it better. So it's very difficult because you always have to think forward and to analyze and to think backward. And but at one point, I think this is our job. Our job is to give this exercise to sell this exercise to the clients, because you need to understand how you, for example, if you want to glue fabrics on the wood, do you glue fabrics on the wood, or do you hold the fabrics and you fold it on the back? And you know how the consequences on each decision in a design way. And I think this, when you finish a project, you need to go there and then see like, we succeed that, we didn't succeed that, we should make it this better next time. And then you should, but you know, errors are just human, but as human, we also understand things. So you understand why you did that, and then you can correct the next time. And this is very strong advice, I think. It's to make things better.
Yes, I completely agree. So whenever you, what has been the biggest mistake in a project that you've done?
There's so many, but I should not say that.
And did you come forward and how did you express that to the client, or did you and correct that?
I think there's one part that we didn't talk yet, is the financial experiences of what we do. I think everyone can relate to the choices of fabrics, colors, and furnitures, and you know, even like restructuring an apartment or a house or things like that. But I think we are very not used to quote things, you know, estimate things, and understand the value of your ideas, but also the values of before your ID. So when you sign a contract, and I think I had trouble at the beginning, and sometimes I do have trouble because we are so experiencing some, you know, creating new things that at one point you don't know how it's going to cost. So this is something that should be said, that we don't know what to do at the beginning. We don't know how much it costs, and even if you're working offices or before, and you really don't know how much cost, like you know, this kind of very embroidered wallpapers, or this kind of fabrics, or this kind of design. So when you sign a contract without even, you know, having this big experience that required this knowledge, I think it's very tricky. You can do a lot of mistakes, and I think I did some mistakes about that. I think I underestimated some stuff, and then when we received, you know, quotes and estimation, it's just like poof, explode. But I think it comes with knowledge, but also now we explode a lot of budgets, but we are okay with that. So so this is because you know, now our clients understand the experimentation, and understand that if you want to get better, you need to invest a little bit more, and this. But I think for me, this was a very strong part of mistakes. And then after, you have the technical mistakes. But I always been surrounded with very excellent people, but even at the beginning in their own, you know, knowledge. But sometimes you do mistakes, you forget things, you do not detail some things, so it get wrong executed. But I think you kind of understand now how I am in my mind, but I'm very controlling. I'm very, you know, very trying to be perfect. My goal is to be perfect, to do perfect things. So, but it's a very it's unachievable. But I think it's a very, you know, it's a vector that helps you be precise. But in its time and experience, did you do big mistakes? Tell me.
For sure.
I'd
Okay,
like to know
so
that.
well, I'm the same. I am a perfectionist, and I always say that it is a blessing, but it is also a curse, because it can be debilitating and stop you from moving forward and
Yeah.
keeping things rolling, you know. So yes, of course, I've done big mistakes. Do you charge hourly, or do you charge flat rate, or do you mix
I charge percentage.
percentage? Okay, so I
Yeah.
do all, and that, because I started my company a little over 2 years ago, and I was the lead designer at a firm before, but the charging, I agree with you, has been I made some big mistakes and lost out on
Yeah.
a lot of things, just because at the beginning you're kind of experimenting. You don't really know, you because the firms that I worked with only charged by the hour. You have to offer now. I think it's important that you offer multiple pricing structures for different clients and different types of
Mm.
projects. And so just learning that, because I wasn't for sure how much each project should charge, it's
Yeah.
just a shot in the dark, kind of, you know what?
It is. Or it's like just jumping in a black
Yeah,
hole. It's like maybe I'm gonna win some money or not. I don't know. It's just I understand that it's very difficult to charge
totally.
and to charge in the right way. But I think it only comes with experience. So
Yeah,
now we are very. I work only with percentage because it's a way of
control.
understanding. Yeah, which we well, there's this, the more you publish, the more percentage you have, but it's kind of in Paris we are this amount of percentage for amount of works, but at one point we block, so it's the more they want to spend, they want to spend.
Right.
So it's but you need the confidence also to assume that to people and say like no, that's it, and I'm not going to change. But at the beginning I just like okay, you want my shirt? Okay, you have my shirt. You want this? And I just sometimes I remember I thought I was working for free, but I took that as a way of doing a portfolio because at the beginning when you open your company, you don't have on name wise, you don't have your own project, so you need food to show
Right.
people because this is how it works. Instagram is a very help for that, but you need to have projects. So I literally sold myself to get project, and I use my client to make them project as best as I could, even if I was losing time and some money to have the best pictures that I could. So also, and then now it's different because we can, be more picky and then we have enough to show. But at the beginning, it was so
Mm-hmm.
difficult to understand like you're not paid enough, but you really need the project to have a very nice image. And at the end, I think it's just the struggle of the beginning. But I feel you. I think the beginning is so
Oh my
difficult.
goodness. It is.
Yeah.
And yeah, you kind of just have to take it at the beginning, and everyone goes
Mm.
through it, realizing that, that every single person goes through these challenges. And again, Instagram can be a highlight reel, and most often
Yeah.
it's these designers that you see that have made it and are successful, have been in this industry for so long, and they've gotten to this
Yeah.
point where they are able to pick and choose, and have all of these never ending kind of waiting lists of clients. um, and you'll get there. Just keep, stay focused, and and keep going. Find different
But
avenues,
I'm
creative
I'm
avenues.
I'm totally happy about that. Honestly, it's been a journey, but I think for the past 2 years, it's been such um I think it became such a dream, honestly. Like it's beyond what expected when I started my company 9 years ago. I couldn't even dream about that because I couldn't comprehend what I really wanted to do and how I wanted to do. And now it's more like, okay, it's more like let's do it, like
Rolling up the
let's
sleeves, we're
fight
gonna
and
get.
then just let's do it. And then what new exciting project we have, and then can we do it bigger? Yeah, let's do it bigger. And then so that's very exciting, but it's just very fresh for us. So we get very stressed. But anyway,
So
it's stress is deal with it. It's
what
the job.
exciting projects do you have in the works? Anything?
We have a lot of very high end, but it's the amount of money that we need to manage now. It's scary. So it's very scary. And the scariest things is that the more money that you have, the more money you spend. It's like there's
Sure.
no project that I have money left. We always have some. Uh, I always have, not enough money. Even if you have 2 millions to do an apartment or 3 minutes, you always need money.
It's true.
So, and so this is what I'm excited about. It's the more money we have, the more experience that and research that you can do. But I have a very exciting project in Belgium, which is an enormous house that we construct, but it goes from our architecture to interior design and decoration, so it's exceptional. And it's one of our clients. We do also a house in south of France, and then we finish an apartment in Paris. So, and we have so many projects like that, so it's very
So
exciting.
in Belgium, where in Belgium?
Oh, I
Oh,
cannot
you can't
say
say the
anything
city?
more. No,
Oh,
no,
okay,
no,
okay. I've never
I'd
been to
rather
Belgium,
not
and I
now. But
am
it's the
obsessed
north.
with
Do
Belgian
you are?
design. Like
Yeah,
obsessed. Yes.
yeah, I agree. I agree. And they're not happy I'm coming there, but I agree. They're so good. They have so many good architects. I really enjoy
Yes.
that. The wabi sabi styles and the very Belgian styles. But I think it's good also to have something more, you know, powerful. I think wabi sabi it's more about the mind and the emotion, but I think it lacks a little bit of finesse and high end.
But
So I'm
you
trying
can
to bring
blend the
that a little bit.
two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think I try. I
I
try.
I know you will succeed. You will execute perfectly. Your style is stunning. So can
Oh.
tell the audience what your style, just in case anyone doesn't know.
So my style is more into bringing the traditional and all the French artifacts with a very contemporary way of organizing things and managing a lot of wood constructing, with the moldings and I'm obsessed with materials. So I'm obsessed with the wood, I'm obsessed with the stones. If you follow my Instagram, you will know I'm really, really obsessed about that. And I like our style because it's also a very underlying way of seeing things. So we always reconstruct things. We always, organize things. So I have the chance to have complete scope works. So we can reorganize spaces. We can create content because usually content has disappeared. So we create moldings. We work with a lot of craftsmanships for that, and then we bring a lot of um, contemporary aspect about interior, the lines, the volumes, the way we manage a little bit details are recessed so you can feel the space actually.
Yes. The
So
molding is stunning, and I love
I love
that juxtaposition of kind of like the vintage
mm,
architecture molding mixed with contemporary furnishings, and that I feel is a successful design whenever the space looks collected rather than from one era or showroom.
mm.
That is what Paris uh, does so beautifully. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I
insane.
understand
It's
that.
insane.
Yeah, I do agree with you, and I always think that we have to bring some contents, but we have to bring some content on different levels. We have like a patrimony content, so you need to bring back what should be there,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm obsessed with
Mm-hmm.
that. And you should bring them also some taste and some um as they use, like they went to Africa, they bought that, they went to this, they bought that, and then to give them some storyline. So I always admire Jacques Grange or people, architects like that, because they understood the power of objects and the power of storyline, and this is what I like to create. I like to create
Yes,
storylines.
yes.
Mm,
The storyline of your client too, so you can walk through and
mm,
feel what the experiences that they've been through in their lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love it.
Mm.
Okay, so let's see. Do you have PR? How do you
I do not
no,
have.
so everything
Yeah,
is
I
just
do
word of
not.
mouth now and referrals. It's you.
And Instagram. No, it's actually I do not have PR or agent. I just I told you at the beginning, I'm very lucky. Everything happens and it's crazy. Sometimes it's a bit, you're a bit, like you cannot move and you don't know what's going on and if you need to jump or not. But as I told you, I jump all the time and then we will see what happens. And I think Instagram, sorry, Instagram has been a very helpful tool. I think it's a good tool. It's a tool for you to understand the market, understand the use of everyone, or understand what people likes, and also to compare yourself. But it can be very tricky. But I'm not into that. I'm very well in my mind, and I'm okay with that. But I relate a lot with Instagram, and I think now people know us, so they come to us. So it's cool. Very
Oh,
good.
I love it. Have
Yeah.
you joined TikTok yet?
I do not, and I
Me
hate
too.
it.
Me too. I'm like, I do
I
not
really
want to do
dislike
this.
it. I don't understand it. I like people doing it, or I think it's something that I really don't like of Instagram is that people get famous about, their abs or their pectorals or their ass and just like the way they do. But I don't think there's a value of that. And I I like people that they are in their thing and propose a creative things, and I think this is what needs to be shared more than people that do. I don't. I think it's it's dumb. It's really
I
dumb.
agree. I
So
completely
I
agree.
don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't understand it either.
Are
And
you?
and
Are you?
and it's hard, like it kind of blows my mind that some people, they get further along because they start doing these very trendy things, and I'm like, but it doesn't reflect their
Personality
personality. It
and
doesn't reflect their aesthetic. It doesn't, all it does is just it is it's a trend, and it's following this trend, and I'm totally not on board. I'm with you. I'm
Mhm.
not in it. I'm not in it. It's not happening.
but I don't I understand for the I'm sorry I have like camera issues. Oh, do you see me? Yes,
Yes.
you see. Um, but I understand for young people, but I think at our ages, I really don't understand. No, I honestly really don't understand. But I think Instagram is a little bit, it's already too much to swallow,
Yes, I agree.
and you feel sometimes that they give you some content that makes you feel uncomfortable instead of feeling happier or smarter or more curious about things. So I think we need to this is why I'm very easy to talk about anxious or stress and things like that, because we need to have more real content about that, and TikTok is just not
Yeah, I
about
agree. That's
real.
why I started this. This is why I started this platform.
I like very much talking about that. I think it's genuinely very helpful to share personal aspect in a professional way. I think it's someone they don't understand that this profession you need to work on yourself a lot. You need to experience yourself a lot, and when you want to succeed, you need to push yourself very very hard. And it's not like you're going on TikTok and then just 1 million, and then this doesn't happen like that in our job. So
I completely agree. And not only, yes, of course, the audience, and to give everyone a sense of why, the background of us, and also background of the design industry, but also for us that are in the design industry, because we're always working so hard, we have very little time to connect. and
Sure.
find new sources and everything. You know, I feel like we're always attached to our devices looking for inspiration or trying to promote our business and then work all day long, you know, all of these different jobs. I really was missing that connection between with our design community. And
Mm.
I think that this is a special way to build that.
It is.
And thank you so much for sharing
It's a
all of
pleasure.
your beautiful insight and your personal story. And there's so much strength in that. And I yes, I cannot wait to see your business just explode and
No, not exploding.
continue to do so, because you are you are meant to do what you are doing. Your work is so beautiful. So
Thank you so
beautiful.
much. It means the
You're
world.
welcome.
It means the world.
Okay, so let's.
It was so nice to see you.
Oh, no worries. So let's do some fun closing questions, and then we'll be done.
Yes.
Okay. So,
Then
who is your favorite designers or artists or people that inspire you?
I think if you know me, you will. Well, everyone who knows me know that it's Joseph Durand. I love what he's doing. I love his way of coming from a very minimalistic black and white to what he does now. I really admire his work and all his works that he's always doing. It's always very surprising, and I really enjoy that
I'm sorry,
a
I
lot.
missed who you said.
Joseph Durand. It's a French.
This is
You
my
too.
favorite.
I
I
love
mean,
him. I love
bar
him very much.
none, bar none.
Yeah,
This it
yeah.
is just it.
It's so
It's
tasty and then it's tasteful and you know a little bit laid back and but there's so much details and I really
oh
enjoy that.
my
And
goodness.
I really wish to replace him. But I really admire his
Oh
work,
my gosh,
honestly.
brilliant! Absolutely brilliant.
What's
My
your
my
who's
favorite
yours?
is Joseph Durant, but I say it
No,
in there,
no.
Joseph Durant.
Joseph Durand,
Yes.
Joseph Durand.
Oh my gosh, I wish. Teach
Okay,
me.
amazing.
Just teach
Yeah,
me to.
you have to over articulate. So Joseph Durand.
Diron.
Yes,
Diron.
that's nice.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. From now on, I will pronounce it. Thank you. Okay. And then if you could have dinner with one creative artist or collaborate with one creative artist, dead or alive, who would that be?
I think I would work with Apparatus.
With who?
Apparatus from New York.
Uh,
Apparatus, apparatus. How do you say it?
Apparatus.
Apparatus. I love them so
Oh,
much. I think they're so good, and I had dinner with them actually, and we had so much fun, and I love them. The very 17 Syrian vibe, and I love what they do, and I love all the. I think it's also very inspiring, as a designer because they have, like from the smell to the light to the furniture, everything is, and I'm obsessed with their brains actually.
I am with you.
So
We're
yeah,
like this.
I like
Because
that. I like that. It's
apparatus,
cool.
no, at every single thing, it's an experience. You know, from the
Yes,
smell
it
to
is.
the yes, every single piece that they come up with and
Yeah.
create is outstanding. It's
Amazing,
outstanding.
amazing.
I
Yeah.
wish that I was at that dinner with all of you. Oh my gosh.
It was very
Was
nice.
it
It
beautiful?
was
Where
very
was
nice.
it?
It was in Paris, and they were doing a show where they showcase some products for a company called Triad. We sell a lot of New Yorkers design, and he did a dinner with them and other designers, and interior designers, and then we went to a restaurant and had some Syrian food, and it was very cool. Yeah, we had
I
fun,
love that
fun,
so
fun night.
much. Okay,
Yeah.
and then last question is, anything new and exciting in the pipeline for you and your firm?
Yes, we developed from a few years ago designs now, so furnitures, and we're gonna have a e-shop going out soon where you can buy our designs there.
I can't
So it's very
wait. I
exciting.
will be I
It's so
will be a
exciting. I'm so
customer.
excited.
I'm so excited for
Yeah,
you.
yeah, it's very cool. It's very cool, and I'm going to do this with my husband. So
Ah, is
best
he is
best
he
project
also a
ever.
designer?
No, he's not.
He's not.
No, he's not. He's in the commercial. He's a salesman. So it's perfect.
Oh,
Yeah.
hi.
So I'm very excited about that. It's going to be in 2022, and because with Instagram, there's a lot of people asking me about this, about that, and then as we're designing more and more and selling a lot of it, I think it was kind of fair that we do our own web shop, and then we create this web shop that is an experience of a little bit of my style. So I'm very excited.
I'm so excited
Yeah,
for you.
I'll let you
Okay,
know.
please let me know. This was such a joy.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much. I cannot wait to come
Thank
to
you.
Paris and hang out with you. We're
Yeah,
going.
call me.
Yes, and if you ever come to the US, I'll meet you wherever, or you can come to Houston too, and we can hang. I would love that.
With pleasure. Thank you so much for thinking of me, and I really enjoyed talking about everything with you.
Oh,
It
me
was
too,
pleasure.
me too. Thank you. And thank you to everyone who joined us. We had so much fun. I'm so grateful for all of you. And I hope you have a lovely evening, Felix.
You too. Have a good
Thank you,
day.
love. Bye-bye.
Bye.